Let's take you straight to Pawtucket, you could say, to a place where, there's somewhat celebration that's touched the hearts and lives of parents. Well, the recent surge in kidnappings in Pawtucket, the River State capital, has cost many families their loved ones, with families of victims accusing the government and security agencies of negligence and complicity. The Oluwaseyi family, whose daughter Favour was kidnapped on August 17, 2024, has joined the growing list of households demanding justice and swift actions from authorities. News Central's Biola Festus has been following this story and now brings us more on the missing 12-year-old girl.
She's supposed to write GST this year. When I'm washing others' clothes, I'm not washing my daughter's clothes. Oluwato for me. No love in marriage again, no peace, no happiness. Because our children is our happiness. Leave them back to this house. That's all I'm trying.
These heart-wrenching statements from a grieving family whose 12-year-old daughter has been missing for 9 months is another sad reminder of the security challenges facing the average Nigerian.
He even threatened that my daughter's private parts will be cut. My daughter will be pieces. And all our private parts will be sold to Alaji.
Yes.
Of which we have all this conversation on record.
It's not enough, Pastor. You please. Government should please. My fellow women should please. I'm passing through pains that I can't explain to anybody. Sometimes I just be inside my room crying. Because I'm missing her. Sometimes I will carry her clothes. That a lot of me come back. Because of this, my father-in-law is in stroke. Where is my sister? Is she sleeping on the bed or she's sleeping on the floor? Where is my sister? My bedmate, someone that we gist. Both of us we gist. Sometimes we stay late at night, we talk to each other. My sister made this cap for me. She made it. And our plan was that when school closed, we'll tell our father what to enter a business making cap because people say they love the cap.
CCTV footage around the neighborhood captured Favour being led to a tricycle by a stranger accompanied by our teenage friend. Days after, the friend's family reportedly moved out of the neighborhood, raising suspicions.
Very sad situation. You could watch that entire report on our social media page. But let's bring on Biola Festus, who joins us this morning. Biola, thank you so much for being with us this morning. And can you give us a quick update on what the situation really is like?
Thank you, Johansen. So this story has been a very touching one. For me, as a reporter reporting this story, it's really got to me, because if you could see a man weeping the way Favour's father was weeping, then you know that something strong had befallen him. So yesterday, the family protested to the state police command, demanding a thorough investigation into the case of a missing. Earlier before now, they told me that the police have really not done anything tangible with this, especially as they have been able to investigate and trace the suspects to a correctional center in Enugu. So this family here is so pained, because you would imagine that the security architecture would be there to protect you. But right in their den, or right in their nets, they are suspecting that somebody is coordinating a crime that has now affected their family and thrown them into this sorrow they are in right now. So their pain is beyond losing a child. Their pain is now even about the security, the Nigerian society failing them in terms of security.
All right. I mean, just before I allow Olive and Benga come in, we also just put up a clip that showed the other story in which you covered students who were on their way to write WAEC from the Bile community, and they were equally kidnapped as well. We did hear yesterday that there was good news. They were released from their captors. Can you also shed more light on that as well? Because we also saw the footage of that one.
Yeah, they regained freedom 2 days ago. That's on Monday, after being in captivity for 21 days. Now, these people that regained their freedom, it's not just one passenger boat hijacked. They were up to 3 passenger boats hijacked at different occasions. So this has been going on in this community called Bile. Now, Bile is a community in Degema local government area of Rivers State, where you have just the sea route as the only way in and out of that community. So these pirates have taken advantage of that to venture, if you would call it, into the business of kidnapping. When they hijack a boat, they call the families and ask for ransom. The last I covered, that was a month ago, the people, the victims, their family paid the whooping sum of 28 million naira to these kidnappers before they regained freedom. So it's becoming an enterprise for them, and a thriving one at that. But the annoying part, according to locals of that community, is that the government seem to be silent about it, and they've said it's time without number that they are ready to assist the security in securing their waterways. Now, these people, they have lots of creeks and creeklets that the security operatives might not be able to identify or locate, but with their help, they can comb all those hidden areas. So this has been their cry and their call, that they want to join hands with the Nigerian military to secure their waterways, because they know their terrain and they can better do it. Johansson.
This again, brings back the conversation about state policing, community policing, and the role that these quote-unquote vigilantes have to play in ensuring that they secure their states, their villages, their communities. How it makes sense from what you're saying if the locals are saying that they want to volunteer to work with law enforcement agents because they understand their terrain better than anyone. But I'll leave that for the security experts to analyze. It just feels, Biola, like we're having the same story, 2 different outcomes. On the one hand, some families are rejoicing because they've been reunited with their family members, while Tofumi family members, they're breaking down because they don't know where Tofumi is and they don't know anything about her whereabouts. You said that these 6 abducted, freed individuals paid 28 million. Has Tofumi's family paid any money?
Let me make a correction there. The 6 abducted WAEC students, alongside other passengers, did not pay ransom. The people I said paid a ransom were the previous story I worked on, where you had some persons paid the ransom, not the recent one, not the one that involved 6 WAEC candidates.
Thank you for that correction.
But other people have kidnapped. Thank you, Olive. Other people have been kidnapped on same waterway and they have been paying ransom. But this time around, their release came as a result of the intervention of King Asari Dokubo. He's a very prominent person in this region, in the Niger Delta region. So he has a private security outfit that facilitated their release. So their release came as a result of the security outfits raiding their hideouts. And this was after one of the abductees was released, but he had paid a ransom. So he was the one that actually led the security operatives, the local security operatives, to their hideouts.
All right, and now back to Tofumi's family. Did they make any payments for her? Have there been any strong demands, and have there been any financial commitments?
Yes, the Oluwatofumi Favour Oluwaseyi's family, they told me that they had paid a ransom to someone who called them, a strange number that called them after their daughter was abducted, claiming he or they were the ones responsible for our abduction. So they made a ransom, they paid the first ransom, and then they told me that another person called them again saying, oh, the ransom you paid for your daughter was my boy that collected it. That was a very small amount. Now I am the Oga, I'm the ringleader, and now I'm asking you for some millions. I can't actually remember the actual figures right now. Some millions. This family now told them that we are poor, we can't afford that. So with the calls and all of that, they took this phone number to the security operatives, to the anti-kidnapping units. That's where they also paid some money, and the number was traced to a bank, and then they had to seek to know the BVN, which of course a BVN is your BVN number is your identification. So they traced that BVN to somebody who is in the Enugu Correctional Center. And then they went there, according to Oluwaseyi's father, they went there with some personnel of the Nigeria police from Port Harcourt to Enugu. They told me that they met the prisoner, I beg your pardon, and then they brought a book for him to make some statements. He wrote statements agreeing to the fact that he is involved in kidnapping and all of this. And then after writing his statement, this is what they told me. It was now time for him to sign before a prison warder came and called him to the side, talked to him, and then he came back and refused to sign. I didn't go with them, but this is the story that the father of the missing girl told me. So this is what is prompting them to accuse the entire security architecture in Nigeria of complicity and attempts to shield an alleged criminal.
Now, Biola Festus, we understand that other civil society groups involved in this case. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, where do we stand? Because the last information we got was that the Oluwaseyi family is accusing the Nigerian police of cover-up and the Enugu Correctional Facility. Where are we with that case right now?
That's where this the case stops. They told me that after discovering that the suspect is at the Enugu State Correctional Center, there have been no further investigations. They've not been able to provide this person for questioning and investigations. So as at yesterday, when they marched to the police headquarters, that was where they were harping on. We need this person at the Enugu State Correctional Center released for questioning, because we believe the Oluwaseyi's family believe that he's got a hand in all of this.
No, I really don't know how to feel about the story. It's so sad hearing all these revelations that you're making, the claims that the family is making. And by virtue of us having this conversation on television, we're hoping that we're shining the spotlight on Oluwatofunmi Favour's case, and that the government takes a deeper look into this. We have seen a number of cases in Port Harcourt. What is the sense? How safe do the people in Port Harcourt feel? How important are these waterways? Are there alternative modes of transportation, or are these very, very important ones that they can't do without, such that we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder?
River State is a highly coastal state. There are several communities here that you cannot access except through water, except by boats. So communities like Degema, communities like Pula, several others I can't begin mentioning, are only accessible by boats. Now, the government have on several occasions claimed that they provided gunboats or security on the waterways. But the people are saying we are not seeing it. Other communities are claiming that that instead of these security operatives or gunboats escorting passengers, escorting the common man while traveling, they are escorting multinationals operating in those communities. This has been their claims over time. So I have also traveled on these waterways severally, and I have never had a security escort if I am traveling on the passenger boat. I've never had a security escort. So I am not only speaking from their point of view. I have been there to these communities to tell their stories, and I have never been escorted by security operatives. So that is the situation. And you can imagine the people of Billy during this their times of having their people kidnapped. Severally, I asked them, can we go to Billy today? Let's see what is happening. And they tell me, we cannot guarantee you security. I will advise you not to come to Billy. I mean, somebody telling me you can't come to my place because I can't guarantee you security. That is how bad this is. And their pain is also that the government is not doing something tangible on this. There has been no strong stance from the government on this. And these are communities that contribute not just to the River State economy, to the Nigerian economy through their oil wells and all.
Okay, let's get to hear from former youth leader in Bile community. Let's bring in Oswald Dukoibiri. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning on the show, sir. Let's hear from you directly. You're a former youth leader in Bile community. What is the security situation? Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead. I was asking, as a former youth leader in Bile community, what is the current security situation?
Well, I think we've not been able to establish the audio connection with Mr. Hosfall. Hopefully, we can do that soon. But just to wrap things up from your end, Biola, Festus, covering these events back to back. Yesterday, let me go back to the 6 students who regained freedom while going to sit for the WAEC examination. They met with their parents. We could see jubilation in the air. I do remember one of the parents whom you also had in one of the report package. She was crying, she was weeping, and all of that. But can you share with us what the parents are saying regards the children coming back home, and what are their plans, especially for having their children go back to that same school or schools, or rewriting the examinations as well?
I think I asked them this very question, and their straight answer was, I'm not sure. Out of those 6 WAEC students, 2 of them were their parents' only child. Those 2 boys there were their parents' only child or children. So when I asked the woman right on the screen, our child, the boy with her, is the only child she has. And when I asked her, is it going back to school? She said she's not sure. Let us have him back first, and then we'll think of what comes on or what we do next. This woman also, right there on your screen, our only child was also involved, and they are not sure. I mean, why will education, the cost of education, be your life or your child's life or your child's safety? She said she's not sure anymore. Going to school to sit for exams, look at what has happened to her. She was thrown into turmoil for 21 days. She told me that she didn't cook in her house for a day since her child went missing. So, I mean, if education is going to be like this, she doesn't know what to do next.
Biola, Festus, thank you for bringing us these updates regarding the safety and security situation in Rivers State. It's really sad that for a country that has really high levels or high scores when it comes to the number of out-of-school children, insecurity again is fueling those numbers. But we hope that you can help us to get more updates, and would love to speak with the families that have been affected, with the parents and the students as well, if their parents do give them the permission. But thank you for joining us this morning, and do stay safe.